Make better money choices. Choose a bank that takes your money seriously. Business Watch is brought to you by Nedbank.
All right, it's 2 p.m. Central African time. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to this edition of Nedbank Business Watch. It's a beautiful Wednesday afternoon and thank you so much for making time to stay with us here on Nedbank Business Watch. We do promise to give you a very insightful and an important episode today, per usual, and doing that not by myself, with my co-host here, my lovely co-host, Dungalele Makakula. Tombene, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Guni. I'm well. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing very well. I love it so much when it's a bit chilly outside and we can dress up and be warm.
We're cooling off from the
heat.
heat.
You know, not wearing anything.
All right. Good afternoon to our viewers. Thank you for tuning in. You can watch us on our YouTube page, Eswatini TV, on DSTV as well, channel 286. Welcome. This is Nedbank Business Watch.
Yeah. Listen, what is coming up on the program today is something that our viewers at home do not want to miss. But let me give them the lowdown. We're diving into the tactics fraudsters use to deceive even the most cautious of us. It is International Fraud Awareness Month anyway, and with refund scams and fakata scams on the rise, particularly through digital wallets and mobile payments, Eswatini need to be vigilant. And today, again, we're going to be joined by Spalele Makakula Shabangu, the Forensic Risk Manager at Nedbank Eswatini, who is going to shed light on some of these schemes and as well as, try to equip us with the knowledge that can protect us as, we face this very, very challenging time where people want to rob us of our well-earned money. Anyway, another topic, we are going to turn our attention to something that is very, very topical. Again, electricity tariffs that are climbing in Eswatini, and more households as well as businesses are turning to solar power, as they should. Joining me as well is going to be Zamangwane Dlamini, the head of branch networks at Nedbank Eswatini. She's going to explain how Nedbank solar financing solutions are making sustainable energy accessible. Very important, even in rural areas where, we more often relate as remote areas where services do not really reach, but they are far-reaching. They have spread their wings so much they reach those areas. The powered plant at Eswatini, it is the solar PV plant, an important project as well. She's going to, explain to us the importance of that project. We're also going to explore how this shift isn't just about savings. It's a meaningful step toward energy independence and, listen, a greener future.
Yeah, good afternoon once again. It's good news for Eswatini as Nedbank Eswatini has rolled out two savvy mobile payment solutions for MSMEs. Small businesses can now accept card payments anytime, anywhere with their newly launched device, Pocket POS, also known as Tap on Phone, which is the first of its kind in the country. The Pocket POS is a cheap and PIN and contactless mobile point of sale POS solution that turns your smartphone or tablet into a POS device, which means customers can now pay you conveniently, securely, and instantly. Fanelo Dlamini will join us later to explain further on how the device works. For now, let's head straight to our first story.
Digital helps you make cross-border payments. Human gives you global specialists. Digital allows you to apply for a loan anytime, anywhere. Human connects you to credit experts. Digital puts you in control of your money, while Human connects you to wealth advisors. Digital allows you to freeze, unfreeze, cancel, and reorder your card. Human gives you that personal touch. Digital when you want it. Human when you need it. Get the complete private banking experience with Nedbank Private Clients.
Yeah, our business news segment now. Thank you for staying with us. This is Nedbank Business Watch. Let's dive into our very, very first story.
Yeah, and for our first story today, the Minister for Finance, Honorable Neil Rakenburg, says there is no stipulated time frame on when the Exponet matter will be concluded, as government has to do thorough investigations before the matter is concluded, emphasizing that if this is not done, there is a possibility of no money being recovered. Eswatini lost about 340 million emalangeni in investments at Exponet.
When it comes to developments, there's a lot of things going on at the moment in the Exponent space. As we know, Parliament has set up a select committee. I met with them yesterday, for instance, as a select committee. They're working quite hard in the background, seeing what they can do to try and look at it. They're looking at a forensic report that was tabled that they asked for, that Parliament asked for. We did it, we tabled it. They're looking, are they going to accept it or not? But that really doesn't stop us as entities, being Central Bank, FSRA, and the Ministry of Finance, in the background doing everything that we can to try to recover monies that were lost. We've got a team made up of central bank people but being fed in from FSRA so that we actually really get, as it's a very complicated matter, and to really understand every single detail of that complication. There have been 2 forensic reports that have been done by now. That is feeding in a lot of interviews, a strong team working on it. We need to clearly understand where every cent has gone. If something's been lost, it's been lost. But if something can be recovered, that we can recover it. If we try to rush it, you're probably not going to be able to recover funds for the people. You're going to come up with a solution and say, well, this is liquidated, done, sorry, there's nothing. We are going to take our time, unfortunately, because the only way we're going to get money is if we trace every single cent and try to really get to the bottom of every transaction that took place, because there's multiple entities where monies went to, and we need to make sure we can follow every single trail and get it. So at the moment, I know there's been pressure put on us to say, give us a timeline. But we really are saying the team is working as hard as what they can. They're working as fast as what they can. But to give timelines would possibly mean people don't get the money that could possibly go. If there's money to be gotten, it's going to take time to get that money out, because many countries have lost more money than we have as Eswatini. And so unfortunately, these waters have been trawled quite heavily. And hence, it's only a real deep dive into every cent, which is going to possibly give us results here. And so hence we're doing as quick as what we can, but reluctant to give timelines, because timelines would mean that we're rushing for a timeline, which is meaning you won't get results as what one needs to.
Right, now our next story. Eswatini and its immediate neighbor, South Africa, have signed a joint action plan which is meant to make trade through the Oshuk-Ngwenya border very seamless, especially for countries in the Southern African Customs Union, known as SACU. Speaking during the signing at Ndalo Lodge, Oshuk Beyers, Theron Director of Customs in South Africa, says the 2 countries have to work on integrating some services to ensure that traders do not have to go through any array of processes, that is, before they pass the border, as this delays trade.
So why this program is so important is that we will start feeling continuous pressure in Africa, in line with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, and there's a continuous demand on us to improve border control at our borders, not only from an internal perspective, but also from a cross-border perspective. So in the past day, the joint working group have sat down and they've met to kind of outline the activities and craft the activities of the joint action plan. And these activities are the activities that should unlock the economic and societal prosperity that we would want in the region. So that's quite important. We have many challenges. If you just look at the border post itself and the location of the border post and the size of the property around it, it is a challenge. We have many other challenges that deals or talks to illicit trade, that talks to illicit movement of people. And I think that it's really important that the joint action plan help us to address this and help us to integrate our processes in such a way that we become more effective. So we are meeting in person to strengthen the relationship that we already have, which is already a strong relationship. There's a lot of work that we've done over the years with Eswatini jointly. The work that we've done on IT connectivity, I was looking this morning, we're around 80% matching rate on IT connectivity, which bodes very well for what we can actually build into our action plan.
Gugu Mahlinza, Commissioner Customs at the Eswatini Revenue Service, says the officials in the two borders need to collaborate, especially in removing repetitive processes.
We also do need all of us who are here and those who are not here to build those softer issues like building trust, because Bayers talked about remote checks of goods. If Bayers has checked the goods on the South African side, why repeat the process on my side? But I will do it if I don't trust him. So we also need to work towards building trust. I'm happy that in the presentation, issues of usage of data, technology, and risk analysis was mentioned. We have all the data, and what we need is just to work together and see what we can actually deduce from that data that we have and build the trust as we work towards implementing our action plan.
Lucky Molefe, a consultant, highlights some of the issues that the two border management authorities need to work on to make the action plan successful.
We should look at the context of SACU borders, which are borders that should be as seamless as possible. There's no customs duty, there's only VAT. There's a strong link between people in both sides of the country. So there's regular movement of people, whether it's small traders, whether it's regular travelers. So how do you make sure that you create an opportunity where you facilitate the movement of regular traders, low-risk traders? What kind of schemes can you put in place for drivers, for example, that are crossing the border on a frequent basis? Is there a way that you can leverage from using some of the products that we have, like national IDs, which are biometric? Is there a way that you can facilitate and remove the need for a passport to be stamped every time the driver crosses the border, or every time a frequent traveler crosses the border?
Dr. Michael Masiapato of the Border Management of South Africa says this initiative can only be a success if the concerned officials put the necessary effort. The Oshuk-Ngwenya border is one of the largest borders used for trade in the SACU region, with the time-release study estimating that 600 trucks pass through the border a day. For Nedbank Business Watch, Nelson Ngamanda, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Oshuk.
All right, and that's it for our business news this afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. This is Nedbank Business Watch.
Yeah, I speak to Spalele Makakula Shabangu after the break. We speak about refund scams, Fakata scams, about a very, very interesting topic. You don't want to miss it. Mm-hmm.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
Sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu sivile sive sithi khulumeni.
It's exactly 2:15. Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching Nedbank Business Watch. Let's talk about Fraud Awareness Month. November is International Fraud Awareness Month, and as per their purpose of being money experts who do good, Nedbank continues to raise awareness to eMaswati on how to protect themselves against fraudsters. And as we enter the pre-festive season, you may have seen media reports in the recent week or days on rise of refund scams, popularly referred to as Fakata scams. I think we've covered quite a lot of those as Eswatini TV, and they are targeting the public using digital wallets or mobile payment channels. And today, here on Nedbank Business Watch, Nedbank Forensic Risk Manager Palele Makakula Shabangu is going to tell us about these scams and give us tips really on how to protect ourselves from them. A very good afternoon to you, Palele. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon to you and the viewers at home.
It's a good afternoon indeed, but it's not good what has been happening
Certainly.
recently. These scams, Fakata scams in particular, have robbed off eMaswati their money, hard-earned money.
True.
And you look at the figures, they are staggering.
True.
How are they getting away with all of this? That could be the question, but maybe let's premise it by telling us about what Fakata scams really are, the types of Fakata scams.
Thank you so much for this. So basically, this is where you receive a call from a caller. What they've been claiming, this is an old scam with a facelift. So of late, it's been callers.
The Kanyimbao. Okay, yeah.
It's been now callers from who purport to be police officers from the cybersecurity unit,
right,
or either officers from ACCCOM who are cybersecurity experts. In the past, it was callers from the World Health Food Program, things like that. But now they've changed to say cybersecurity experts because they're understanding that's what we're focusing on. This person will call you and say that your phone is either being hacked or has a virus, has been flagged in their system. And the caller will then transfer you to a cellular network provider and will pretend to be a consultant who will then, there's this IVR, the interactive voice response that will, like for Nedbank, it's welcome to Nedbank.
Right.
Yes. And that caller will then pretend to guide you to through the process, claiming that indeed you've been flagged. We see red in our dashboard. Obviously, you'll be scared.
Right.
And they tell you that if this is not resolved, all your money is at risk.
Yeah.
And they advise you, please, do you have a mobile? They find a way to extract this information from you. Do you have a mobile money? Do you have an e-wallet? Do you have? They find out all these what digital wallets that we have. Send money. What do you have? How much money do you have in your account? So in the state of panic and that frustration, you give out all this information, and they just find a way to lure you into then sending through this money either through these mobile payments.
Right.
And digital wallets, and then you just discover that you're being scammed.
Yeah.
And the promise is that basically these are suspense accounts where the funds are going to then be returned to your account once the issue has been resolved. And obviously that never happens.
It's quite, very, very scary when you think about it, because one would have imagined people are not as gullible as they used to be, but listen to how they operate these things. You may find yourselves as someone who thinks, well, I'm woke enough to know when someone is scamming me. So some people like that have been scammed because it is so well organized, and it's something that is very scary. But it is not only Fakata scams, I understand, that is rampant right now. If you could, take us through what other types of scams are rampant.
We're having a lot of refund scams. Fakata scams is part of a refund scam as well.
Okay.
In a way. But you have a caller who says, I've sent money to your number in error. While you're on a call, you actually receive an SMS. This SMS will look similar to that of a digital wallet notification. The caller will say, will plead with you to say, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. I'm just absent-minded. I have problems. Please resend the money. And I've just left town. Where I am right now, there's no ATMs, so you can't send back the money using the digital wallet. So use mobile payment options, which will be using the cellular network providers. Then in that way, you are going to rush, send back the money. Someone is in dire need. They'll cook up a beautiful story that will move you. They play your emotions, and you'll send the money. If you have something on mobile money, you'll send it. If you don't have anything in your in your mobile monies, they'll ask you, borrow from someone, ask for money and, pay me back because I'm in a serious situation. And in your state, you borrow that money.
Yeah.
Or if you do have that money, you'll send it through. And when you check your balance, you find that actually there's no funds. You look at that SMS, it's not coming from Nedbank. So you realize that you've been scammed. And another big one, this is mainly affecting people that are small businesses, or you're selling something, some furniture in your house, you're getting rid of things, you're posting on social media, you're getting rid of this, you're selling that. Someone will call you and they say, I'd like to buy this. Are you okay with receiving the digital payment? And you say, yes, I'm good with that. Person says, all right, I'll send my person who'll come and collect. Good. And most of the time they peak hours, rush hour time where everyone is busy. So the person will get to the store or get to you and say, I'm here to collect. And then you probably call the customer to say, I haven't received payment. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, while you're on the phone, you receive an SMS that is similar to your digital wallet notification. Then at that point, remember, this is peak time, rush hour. And you won't even pay attention that this is not from your bank. And then you'll say, all right, take the item. And what they'll do, they're going to call you. That payment they make, they overpay you.
Right.
And then they go on to say, please, I'm absent-minded. Please, can you just refund me? You find that they'll pay you even times 2 what they're supposed to pay you. They say, I'm a bit absent-minded. I've got problems. And then in your state, you pay them. You refund them money that they're not entitled to. So you've lost whatever you're selling, and you've lost because you've actually refunded them the money that you didn't receive.
So I suppose for them, a bad day is when they try to scam someone who doesn't even have the money.
Certainly.
It's baffling to me because when such things happen, I was reading a report, I think, was it yesterday? And it speaks to about 2.4 million in Malanga that has been lost so far this year. And I suppose it could be even more than that. Some victims have come out to say, lock these people up and don't even ever let them out because they have left us so confused.
It's scary because, remember, if you were to get scammed, you're on TV. Are you going to report it to the police? So these reports that are being spoken about is reported cases. There's a whole lot of cases that haven't been reported.
2.4 million is a lot of money.
Exactly. So think of that money, double it. Yeah. Because a whole lot of reports that haven't been.
Could triple it as well. But we're just being safe with the figure that we are saying. But I think the important question then becomes protecting ourselves. How do we navigate this trying time? How do we protect ourselves?
This is a very interesting question, but what is key is that these scammers use our emotions and they take advantage of the way that we think and the way that we perceive things. What is important is that, for instance, these Fakata scammers or the refund scams, speaking about the Fakata scammers, we as Eswatini, we need to understand the communication model.
Right.
So if there is an exercise where police are going to be calling Eswatini because there's an issue of our phones being hacked, the National Commissioner is definitely going to make a public statement.
Absolutely.
Public notice and a public statement. You remember when it comes to our national census, there's public notifications that you're going to be expecting people, they are going to be having tags, all these. So if then there is some initiative that is ongoing that hasn't been publicized in the official platforms and commissioned by the right people, then there's a problem in us understanding the Eswatini communication. So that is one thing that is key we need to understand. So if anyone will come to me and tell me a story, I will say, I have not seen anything on TV, I've not seen anything on radio or the newspaper.
So strengthen public awareness.
Definitely, that is key. And then what is also important is that clients need to understand the bank products. Banks educate clients every day. This is what we're doing now. Understand the products that the bank are giving out. So when there's a client now saying, or purportedly a fraudster who says, I've sent you money, that the SMS is supposed to come from Nedbank.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be from another cell phone number. And also, you know that before you make a refund, you have to check your balance.
Absolutely.
Let's say now there is a case where someone does send money to you in error. That does happen, right? But you need to check your balance to make
Very
sure that
rarely, by the way. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. So those are just snippets of how you can protect yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Palela, thank you so much for your time. Always insightful engagements that we have with you on the program. And I'm sure our viewers appreciate these conversations, by the way. I also want to thank our viewers for staying with us so far. Please don't go anywhere. More interesting conversations on the program as we continue. Let's go for a net break. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nedbank Eswatini. Thank you for staying with us. Now, say goodbye to cash-only woes. Nedbank Eswatini has rolled out two savvy mobile payment solutions for MSMEs. Small businesses can now accept card payments anytime, anywhere with their newly launched device, Pocket Pause and Tap on Phone. Mfanelo Dlamini from Nedbank Eswatini joins me now to tell us more about this. A very good afternoon. Thank you, Mfanelo, for coming through to the program. Talk about the right banking solutions, the first of its kind in Eswatini. What is Pocket Pause and Tap on Phone?
Thank you for having us, Lulu. And again, we are very excited about this product as Nedbank.
Yeah.
This is one of the newest innovation that we've brought into the market, which is going to assist our small and medium enterprises. Pocket Pause is just a small gadget that it literally fits in your pocket, which enables payment anywhere you go. Basically, it's a device like this. If you want to touch and feel.
Portable.
Very portable, very portable. Even fits in one of your ladies' small Nyana wallets, so you can fit it anywhere you want to go.
Yeah.
This device, it's your normal point-of-sale devices, like the big ones that you see in these corporate shops, and but this one is suitable for the small ones, which you literally buy and own as a customer. It enables you to accept any form of payment from any card that is it's either your Visa card, your American Express card, or your MasterCard as well.
Okay.
So
is it only for SMEs, or an individual like myself can own one?
Individuals like yourself can own one as well if they are doing their informal traders, because like I said, you don't have to necessarily be registered as a trader to be doing something that will give you an extra cash there. You have those entrepreneurs that you are still on their hustling side of it that hasn't got through around registering their businesses. So with this, you can still register yours as long as you have your current account and you fill up a source of funds documentation that will enable us to onboard you on the device as well.
Okay, so is it only accessible to Nedbank clients, or clients from other banks can also get it as well?
It is accessible to Nedbank clients and clients from other banks. However, I would encourage clients to open accounts with us as well. But we do onboard other banks as long as they also have their current account and the source of funds as well.
Right, and finally, I know that it comes with convenience, obviously. So what other benefits come with this portable Pocket Pause?
Well, like you said in your introduction, it's a way of paying without cash.
Yeah.
In most instances, small business people find themselves having to discount their products. Sometimes they have to wait for days and even months from people saying that they don't have cash with them. This device here allows them to get their funds on the spot without even the client having the cash on hand.
Yeah.
Since you won't buy a product without cash. It's either it's in the bank or it's in another payment solution, but with this, you will accept the payment there and there.
Okay, so I know that anything that has to do with banks comes with charges. So are there any charges that I can expect, by using this? Also my clients that I have this, transactions with?
All right. Like I said, it's a point of sale device, same as those ones that are used in your shops that are already existing there. It comes with the same transactional charges as well, and the commission that is based on the client that is purchasing the device with us. So there's a 2.5 commission from every client that owns this, and the transactional charges on the customer that is buying as well. Same as all the point of sale solutions that are out there in the market.
Right. So let's talk about this device and your phone, because it's also called the Pocket Pause or Tap on Phone. How is it linked? Can I use myself?
Part about it. Once you download the Pocket Pause device, it comes with another functionality, which is a tap on phone. So once you have that the Pocket Pause app on your phone, your phone literally becomes the device itself. So it's either you buy the phone or you have the Pocket Pause on you. So it's two products per se.
All right.
So on the phones, it basically needs a phone that is an Android 8 and later version, and also comes with NFC enabled. The NFC,
is it only on Android phones or iOS as well?
iOS as well. iOS as well, exactly, and as well as iOS. But for the tap on phone on the iOS, you need to have what is it called? iPhone Pay. I think it's iPhone Pay. Well, it should be iPhone Pay enabled, exactly.
Okay, so what happens after buying it? Do I need to register? Does it connect immediately? Take us through the process.
The process starts with the application for the process before you even buy it, because once we deliver it to you, we are already onboarded you on it. All you have to do is download the Pocket Pause app and link it to your Bluetooth device. Then it's ready to go.
Is it only local cards or even international cards can tap on the device and on the phone?
That's another exciting about it. It accepts all local and international payments, your American Express cards, your Visa cards, and MasterCards.
Okay, so what are the requirements, from your SMEs, your individuals, in order to have this portable?
All right, for registered SMEs who are trading, we need company documents, including current trading license and their proof of residence, offices and stuff. So with all of that, we can be able to onboard them for informal traders. Say yourself, you want the gadget, you also have your side hustling. We just need you to fill in a source of funds documentation and also have a current account.
Okay. I suppose you have long queues, there's a lot of demand for this now that, MT officially launched it. How do people apply for it?
Okay, the application process can be done through our social media pages as well. We have LinkedIn, we have Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter. We also encourage people to interact with us through our help desk line. You can email at helpdesk.co.za or call our help desk line, which is 3278-1999.
Okay, so you only allow applications on your social media pages?
Not entirely. They can also visit our branches, our branch networks, which are literally all over the regions. And also for those SME clients that already have accounts with them, they can contact their bankers immediately for the assistance for that.
All right. Important question: is it a rental device, or I can just it's a once-off payment?
No. This one it's not a rental. It's a once-off payment. You get to own this. It doesn't have any monthly service fees. The only payment that is sharing of commission, which is to 2.5% of turnover.
Okay. How much are you selling it for?
It goes for $4.99. Very, very
Just
cheap.
Only
$4.99. Only $4.99, and you are a walking bank.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mfanelo. Well, there you have it. It's the Pocket Pause and Tap on Phone by Nedbank Eswatini. Do contact them on their social media pages or visit one of their branches for more information. Let's go for an ad break. We'll come back just shortly.
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Nedbank Business Watch. As Eswatini faces rising electricity tariffs, up by 10.14% for households, in the past year, many are turning to solar power for a sustainable, cost-effective alternative. Now, with government aiming for a 50% renewable energy mix, solar adoption is on the rise, and importantly so, from homes to businesses and even in rural communities like those served by the Eswatini solar PV plant. Joining me today, Zamangwane Dlamini, once again, Head of Branch Networks at Nedbank, to discuss Nedbank's solar financing solutions that are helping residents and businesses embrace this important shift, ensuring that not only savings, you're not only making savings, or rather, but it is a step towards energy independence as well as sustainability. Zama, welcome to the program. I think it's a topical conversation as we, transition from what we know today to what is important going forward. An important conversation. Let's talk about, this Eswatini government ambitious goal in reaching 50% renewable energy mix. And, everyone is embracing that, but it comes with its own challenges. We need to be able to, adapt to everything, largely through the Energy Master Plan and National Energy Policy. In your view, and this is Nedbank's view, by the way, how are these policies influencing solar adoption across the country?
Afternoon, Guni, and thank you again for having us. Of course, it is a topical issue, as you're mentioning, the cost of electricity and the perpetual request for increases through our service provider, current utility service provider in EEC through ESERA, is seeing the cost and the income of the customer really shrinking due to the cost of living rising. Yeah. But we are seeing, like you're saying, that's the government is also quite conscious of the future of energy in the country. And as a result, you're quite right. They have articulated a very pronounced and strong, you would say ambitious target to have a 50% mix within the renewable energy space. And this, of course, is outlined in their Energy Master Plan and the National Energy Policy as it stands. Of course, we are quite confident of this, and this commitment that the government is also showing is quite aligned to the aspirations of the bank in the adoption of solar, of course, across all the segments, and also just the opportunity to have customers interact with different requirements and minimize their independence or rather their dependence on the national grid.
Yeah. Speaking on, the customers minimizing their dependence, we are indeed seeing more households installing PV solar panels to reduce dependence on the national grid. Talk to me about how you think this trend is going to impact, say, the residential energy landscape, especially with the ongoing tariff increase.
Yeah, we do foresee the residential and commercial buildings taking up solar solutions, right, being your PV solar panels and any and all other related devices that they may require. Of course, this is to build long-term sustenance in terms of the energy availability. Yeah. Of course, we are also anticipating power cuts in terms of the actual now, from a national perspective, we have reliance in terms of where the country is actually procuring its energy. And further to that, once we are sort of cut off or rationed, that immediately introduces load shedding schedules in our environments, notwithstanding the fact that we are already in an environment where we're in the summertime, or rather we have a volatile climate arrangement at the moment. Yeah. It's cold, it's hot, it's rainy, and power cuts can't be foreseen because of thunderstorms and the weather patterns that we have seen. So we do believe that households will certainly be taking these up, and of course the benefit will be for that sustained connection, sustained electricity power, sustained water heating and continuity. But more than anything, like we said, the topical conversation is actually the cost of electricity today. Yeah. And that cost of electricity today is slowly becoming a barrier to entry, or it's becoming prohibitive in terms of the quality of life of the citizens of eMaswati because of our dependency on electricity. So I do believe that as we are positioned and structured at Nedbank with our solar financing solutions, we certainly can provide tailor-made solutions to those particular needs. We anticipate growth in this regard. We anticipate clients taking up these products, business, individuals, and commercial, and we anticipate that they will save. They will make substantial savings. In our last conversation, a week or 2 weeks ago, we did articulate that there are some substantial savings that the consumer can immediately make and recover within a year's period as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, do you know what? This conversation very relevant now more than ever, because the past 2.5 weeks we have seen what you have alluded to with regards to power cuts as a result of the very confused weather patterns, but also the the proposed hikes when it comes to our electricity tariffs. Everything that you have spoken about really just ties well with this solution that Nedbank is then offering. Let's talk about businesses now, because they are, turning to solar power for cost savings and energy reliability. Can you share some, say, insights into how commercial and industrial sectors are adopting solar and what impact it has on their operations?
Okay, as you've mentioned, the most obvious ones and the prominent ones are the operational efficiencies that the customers will derive, meaning in your business operations, you will significantly reduce your expenses that relate to this power generation in its nature. However, like you're saying, it also ensures the reliability, meaning there is continuous business, and the business operations are really not hampered by this erratic weather patterns or by power cuts and need. So this means that the sustenance of the business itself remains in place. We have seen, though, that EEC has developed some embedded requirements in terms of those commercial and industrial sectors that would want to actually execute this. So those requirements specify the conditions to apply to process those processes that outline the requirements for businesses and commercial, so that they can become supplemented from the grid in terms of connection. And that's, of course, where they then realize these cost savings that we're mentioning. But you will note that in the operations of a business, typically the human expenses are usually the top lines, your operational expenses, which are also quite significant. So where there's an opportunity to actually work through finding ways to save in those areas, the businesses in turn becomes a bit more profitable because of that balance. Yeah,
the winds of change, right? Winds are shifting, but what I love is that Nedbank's hand is far-reaching. We have seen that you guys are also part of, community projects like the Eswatini solar PV plant, which has obviously brought electricity to rural areas such as Mvundla, significantly enhancing access and quality of life. What role do you see Nedbank playing in supporting, such initiatives?
We've always been close and pronouncing doing good in the communities we live in and that we serve. The actual solar plant at Eswatini was an initiative by EEC, which was completed in 2021. And I think that sets the tone and is actually the foundational, directional in terms of where we're going as a country, premised on what we've spoken about earlier in terms of the policy. However, from a Nedbank perspective, of course, we do want to serve our communities. We encourage the communities, whether they are in stockfields, whether they are in pooling arrangements where they would share the resources, the natural resources, and we are actively in those communities and having participating in those community engagements and meetings with them to appreciate the needs of those communities. We also appreciate that we can probably go even further extend ourselves to assist and serve the communities, which are our clients. We talk about solar generation, we talk about the benefits of the power in terms of sustenance, but we can also appreciate that these tend to go hand in hand with other utilities such as water. So, of course, in those community meetings, there are vast conversations that are being had and varying conversations that are being had to say, perhaps, did you know that you can power a borehole as well from the solar installation? So we are educating our clients, we are educating communities, we are wanting to make an impact in the communities in which we do business and live in. And we have noted and taken a leaf from the initiative that EEC has done to say, we, as a country, are moving in a step in the right direction, but we are also saying we are positioning ourselves as Nedbank to be available to offer and sell these solutions to our clients and the communities we serve.
It's quite important, you make such a compelling submission there, speaking to, expanding your arms far beyond the norm when we speak about, what a bank offers, offering to the most of basic needs of the people, electricity and water, and the ecosystem as, how it relates to each other, as you pronounced it. But I'm also picking up that we've spoken on, cost savings to energy independence and environmental benefits now. Solar energy offering, obviously, a range of advantages. How do you think these factors, how do you see these factors, shaping the public's attitude towards solar investment?
Okay, yes, you're quite right. The benefits in terms of cost saving to the customer, the immediate benefit that you can see is that it certainly will be offsetting these tariffs that are being proposed, because from an immediate basis, there is a supplementary stream, if I may say so, because you can immediately realize the benefits. Upon your installation of any solar device that you would be financed through by Nedbank, you can actually see those benefits on an immediate basis. And then in terms of reliability, of course, you've removed the dependence from the national grid as far as possible, depending on the structure of what you've installed, whether it's in your home or it's in your commercial business. Again, that's certainly a benefit that we can see on an immediate basis to the customer, and that's what we would position to our customers. And then further to that, with respect to being a green bank, no pun intended, of course, solar has significantly reduced carbon emissions. We are in this erratic weather patterns because of the nature of how we are deriving and making power in the various resources that are being used to generate some. So solar power is actually clean, it's safe for the environment, and it's sustainable. We always say the sun will always be there. So as long as the sun is there, can we capture the energy so that we use it correctly?
All right, Zama. Obviously, I'm realizing that these are such flexible solutions that Nedbank has introduced for solar projects. The consumer at home, that potential customer that is sold to this great offering, speak to them about how they can contact or reach you guys.
Okay. We encourage our customers to interact with us at any nearest branch. In terms of our branch network, we are available to assist and serve our clients there. We are also available on our contact center, which is a help desk. They can call us or they can email helpdesk@nedbank.co.za, or they can call 3278-1999. And or they can also find us on our social media pages. We are on X, formerly known as Twitter, as Nedbank SZ. We are also on LinkedIn, and we are also on Facebook with the same username.
All right. Maybe just for your own urgent need. Let me reiterate the number. You said 327-8199.
Correct.
327-8199. Save that number. Save that number and make sure that you do contact Nedbank as soon as now. What a great solution, by the way, that Nedbank is offering, right in line with what government, has set as part of their ambitions as well. But it also, like Zama did say, it aligns with some of the Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goal number 7. Let's go for an ad break. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back. You're still watching Nedbank Business Watch. Thank you for tuning in. We now want to take a look at financial markets this afternoon. We're joined by Nozi Busiso Demba from Nedbank Eswatini. Very good afternoon, Nozi. It's been a while, hey? Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to your viewers.
Afternoon. So yeah, let's just head straight to the US. You know, it has been a hectic week. All eyes were on the US elections, and I suppose the dollar has been strengthening. What was happening?
Yeah, it's been a very hectic week, a volatile week, a few days in markets. On Monday, initially we saw the rand strengthening after the Purchasing Managers Index was released, indicating that the private companies in SA are doing great and they've been on an upward trajectory since October. So the rand strengthened because of that. Then yesterday, the US election started, and we saw some US dollar strengthening, but overnight, the dollar immediately strengthened quite significantly after the U.S. elections, and today, as we've progressed with the morning, and we're seeing the gap between we saw the gap between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. The dollars continue to strengthen further. Currently, the dollar is trading against the SZL at 17.6701. Against the euro at 18.9955, and the pound against the SZL at 22.7846.
Okay, so how long is the dollar is going to be strong for? You know, it's quite strong today because you know Donald Trump has been announced as the president-elect of the U.S. How long is it going to stay like this?
So it's difficult to tell how long it'll stay like this for, but you'll actually be surprised to realize that it was stronger on Monday than it is now.
Today, okay.
Yeah. So we're seeing the dollar strengthen, but the rand on Monday was much stronger.
Okay. Speaking of Trump, he has won. He has been announced as the president-elect. What could it possibly mean? What impact will this have on Africa as a whole?
There's a couple of impacts. All of it is projections, but we'll see as we go along. Right now, economists are projecting that Trump winning the elections will have increased inflationary pressures on the U.S. Trump has very strong trade policies, which include import tariffs that'll then cause issues for imports coming from China. So the expectation is that prices in the US will start to increase and inflation will also start to increase. Unfortunately for the consumer, if prices increase, inflation increases and therefore interest rates remain high.
Okay, so how would the situation been like if it were Kamala Harris president-elect?
Hopefully it would have had a different outcome. Hopefully, but it's also difficult to tell with these things because markets are very volatile. On the other hand, though, for the rand, there might be advantages to Trump winning because his policies will also put pressure on the Mexican peso as a currency, and investors might shift from the peso to the ZAR, which is a similar currency. So there might be benefits there. Okay,
all right. So moving on, interest rate decision coming up tomorrow. Tell us about that.
Yes, so we're expecting an interest rate decision from the Fed tomorrow. The expectation is that interest rates will be cut by 25 basis points. But then again, after the winning of Trump today, we'll see if that has an impact on the actual decision tomorrow.
Okay, so when you take a look at the commodities, the price of oil and gold, I see that it's decreasing today. What's happening there?
So the gold, the price of gold right now currently trading at $2,720.39 per ounce, and Brent crude trading at $76.36 per barrel. Both of these have decreased. Brent crude we've seen decreasing due to the US dollar strength, and then we've also due to low demand coming from China, which is the world's biggest importer of oil. And we've also seen Brent crude, the price of gold also decreasing due to US dollar strength as well.
Okay, so we can expect, you know, the numbers to change.
Right now, not. As long as the US dollar continues to increase, we'll likely see a decrease in those prices.
All right. So looking at equities, the S&P 500 is soaring. Are there any companies that are benefiting from this?
Yes. So we've seen the S&P 500 soar ever since Trump claimed his victory, and Tesla has been a big driver of this. Elon Musk was a huge supporter of Trump throughout his election, so we saw the price of Tesla increase. Bitcoin as well has leaped quite significantly, and this is mainly because of investor confidence. Trump is known to be a supporter of digital assets, so there's investor confidence in the cryptocurrency space. The other indices have also benefited from Trump's victory, and we've been seeing them also increase quite significantly.
Okay, just lastly, before I let you go, any added data that you can expect this week and perhaps next week?
For this week, I think the main thing is the Fed decision tomorrow, because it will be quite interesting to see whether the expectation of the inflationary pressures is significant, and whether it affects what the Fed does tomorrow and going forward.
All right, thank you, Zibu. Thank you. And that's it for our financial market update this afternoon. This was Nozibu Demo from Nedbank Eswatini. Let's take a break. Sabu Yakonamaj.
Digital helps you make cross-border payments. Human gives you global specialists. Digital allows you to apply for a loan anytime, anywhere. Human connects you to credit experts. Digital puts you in control of your money, while human connects you to wealth advisors. Digital allows you to freeze, unfreeze, cancel, and reorder your card. Human gives you that personal touch. Digital when you want it. Human when you need it. Get the complete private banking experience with Nedbank Private Clients.
sabatandi ukuthi njengalokhu sivile sive sithi khulumeni.
Yeah, Lulu, what an insightful conversation you just had with Zibu. You guys were really great.
It's been a while, so
yeah.
It was great having her.
Welcome her back. She hasn't been on our screens for a while now. But outside of that, I think the show has really been insightful today. We've spoken about fraud, Fakata scams, obviously one of the most prevalent, things happening around the country right now is a matter of concern. Solar financing, a great solution offered by Nedbank. This time where, we are seeing conversations around tariff hikes. But, the conversation about the markets with Zibu. America has sneezed. The whole world is catching the cold. No pun intended. It is cold outside. So, it's really going to be interesting how it affects the markets going forward, from today. Maybe positively in the near future. Right now, we are not sure.
Yeah, she did say that the dollar is strengthening. I mean, it was quite expected, after the announcement that Donald Trump has been elected as a U.S. president.
Good time good time for those that are, have remote jobs, working for American companies, earning in dollars. A really, really good time for them. Makes me want to move to America right now.
We should.
Yeah, really should.
Right, also quite interesting conversation I had with Mfanelo today. He was talking about the Nedbank Pocket POS, also known as Tap on Phone. So anyone can get it, even you and I, individuals, SMEs, companies, as long as you have registered, you have your phone, you've installed the app on your phone, you can just use it, for people to pay you. Actually,
it's going to be interesting seeing, women buy those gadgets for, for what do you call girlfriend allowances and all that allowances that women want now that we don't
definitely
understand.
Own these
but anyway,
thank
you to Zamangwane Dlamini, head of branch networks from Nedbank, Spalele Shabangu Makakula, forensic risk manager at Nedbank, as well as Zibu Dembe and your other guests.
Yes, Mfanelo Dlamini from Nedbank. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, right here on Nedbank Business Watch. Do watch us on our YouTube page if you've just tuned in. Eswatini TV. We'll see you next week, Wednesday at exactly 2 p.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Make better money choices. Choose a bank that takes your money seriously. Business Watch was brought to you by Nedbank.